when I first got involved, I think I definitely, even though I said, because I'd read books to say that gaining enlightenment for the benefit of all beings was a superior ideal than gaining it for yourself. So of course I'd say, yes, I'm going to gain enlightenment for all beings. But actually, I was basically incredibly selfish. You know, I was young and just wanted some big experience, some life-transforming experience, you know, for me. So I don't think I really thought very much about other people. But I hope what's changed is that I'm actually more interested in other people. And so what I try to do in my own spiritual practice is to, you know, the way I think of it is that I work on myself in order to be a better spiritual friend or a better friend, you know, to other people, to be able to, you know, benefit them.
I think when I started practicing, I was very idealistic and pretty willful, and I definitely wanted to get somewhere else, to be someone else, something else. And I'd say that now, actually I just feel like I don't need to worry about myself. That in a way the main thing I need to do is to turn outwards into the world and give whatever I can to other people. So there's been quite a turning around for me.
It's practicing and teaching the metta bhavana that's had the most profound effect on me. I've become much more sensitive to other people and other beings, and I just compare it with my lack of sensitivity before I came across Buddhism and before I came across these practices.
If you had asked me, what do you think the purpose of practice is, I would have said preparation for death. And definitely I relate to that very strongly. That's probably what I relate to most strongly in practice, is preparation for death. I think for me, it's absolutely fundamental.
I can remember the first time I really became aware that I was going to die. And I was in my early 40s, so it wasn't as if I didn't know beforehand that I was going to die. But on this occasion I had a sudden, as it were, flash, which was like a shock, which wasn't like an idea. It was a sudden sort of shock that I was going to die. I happened to be reading a Shakespeare play at the time, and it just suddenly hit me that I was going to die. And I've had that kind of experience recur again and again since then. I'm now in my middle 50s. And that experience seemed to be as a result of practicing the Dharma. It's like all my practice up to then seemed to prepare me for having some kind of sense of my own death. And it also has meant that having a sense of my own death is not something that phases me. It's not something that I feel worried about or anxious about. In fact, to be honest, I feel quite excited about the idea of it. Yeah, it's like an adventure that I'm going to die. So I quite like the idea, and I think the Dharma has prepared me for that.
I've been able to face impermanence, the reality, see the truth of it. When people die, or when my closest friend died last year, and of course I grieved and was upset, but actually really know in a positive way, it's just how it is. It's just how it is. Nothing new. It's been happening always. We're born, we die. I was born, I will die. Let's make the most of it now. I think I've loved reading books on death. I love, it's sort of something, it's just very life enhancing for me. It makes me want to really live now, because I'm alive now, so be loving, kind, generous, be all the positive things. Why do the other? I don't know how long I've got. Hopefully I'll get to the end of this interview.
Being around, you know, people that have died, either friends of mine or people in my family, and being around that whole thing, you know, of someone dying out of a group of people, whether it's a family or friends or whatever. I think, you know, the big advantage from, you know, probably not even necessarily particularly intense sort of Dharma study, is just this whole thing of being, you know, aware of at least the concept of like impermanence, you know, and the fact that it's so, you know, it completely runs through everything, you know, in the Dharma. So at least you've got the idea in your head.
My Dharma practice has given me the skills and the resources to turn towards my experience as it is in the moment. I think that's the main thing. And I've lived with lots of physical pain anyway, so I've learned how to turn towards physical pain without freaking out. So hopefully at the moment of death, no matter what's happening, I'll be able to turn towards that experience with a kindly heart and to not turn away from it, but turn towards an experience of inner vastness, inner spaciousness that I can experience in my meditation.
I feel very lucky actually that I can go on retreat and be taught by people who've just spent decades practicing now, and it's absolutely not theoretical for them. It's embedded in their experience, and it's very obvious when they communicate that it's from their experience. And I feel very excited, so that just means that the whole thing, this 40-year-old movement, it really works, because people are really getting somewhere, and it shows, you can see it.